Here we are at Solver Airport, getting ready to take off. First things first, to check our fuel. Right here, looks like we got 10 gallons in the left tank and about 15 gallons in the right tank. I hope that's enough to finish the last 2 legs of the journey. And let's taxi on down to the other end of the runway so we can get a So we have a little bit more runway to take off with. This will be leg 13. There's only 2 more legs to go after this, and this Discover Norway tour is over. It's been quite an interesting flight. The scenery in Norway has been spectacular and quite different. All right, turning around so we're ready to take off on runway 10. That looks pretty good right there. All right, before we take off, I want to set up a few things for the automatic pilot to make our flight a little easier. Our highest obstacle is going to be on this leg is going to be at 2,700 feet, so we're going to fly at 3,000 feet. So if you look up here, you'll see the altitude changes. I changed the altitude for the automatic pilot to 3,000 feet. Should clear all obstacles. And our first waypoint is at a heading of 52 degrees, but that's only for 2.5 miles. Then we switch to 33. So I'm going to fly by hand till we get to the first waypoint. So I'm going to set the heading for the second leg of 33 degrees. You'll follow this. If you look at the heading bug, you'll see it moving. Set it to 33 degrees. Okay, so we're ready to go. Oh, I got to set the flight level control speed to 100 knots. So if I activate autopilot, the plane will continue to climb at 100 knots to whatever the setting was, which was I set for 3,000 feet. That's if we're not there. We don't automatically get there on while I'm flying, so you can see it. There's the column. Okay, line open. You see it open. That's the column. That cools the engine. Cools the engine when while we're climbing. Keeps the engine cool. The engine will overheat. So, alrighty, and that's about it. All right, here we go. I'm using the rudder to try and keep the plane centered on the center line. We get up to about 80 knots, and I'll pull back on the yoke. We're up and climbing. Immediately turn to the right. My flaps up. I put my landing gear up rather. And making a sharp right-hand turn and go over that fjord that that's 22, which is over here. Oh, actually, I'm a little off course here. I didn't realize that. I just looked at things here. I went too far. Yeah, I should have gone up that other field. All right. I gotta adjust the propeller here. We're running. There we go. Pitch of the propeller. There we go. It's adjusted. All right, this is a fjord we have to follow. Now we're on track. Let's take a look out the left here. A little bit of snow. We're about 120, 130 miles above the Arctic Circle. It's interesting to note that Norway, even though it's above the Arctic Circle, is much warmer than Alaska. And in fact, the temperature very seldom gets below freezing, except at higher elevations because of the Gulf Stream. Let's take a look, see what it looks like outside the plane. We're approaching waypoint 2. Once we get to that point, we'll have to turn to a heading of 26 degrees. We're already at a heading of, what's our heading now, 19 degrees? Yeah, because I'm flying by hand, I had to correct things. Just looking at the map we're doing. In fact, I'll correct the heading. So our next waypoint, which you'll see a little line here, should be right here. Alright, making a course correction here. Go off to the right. Spectacular scene. This spectacular Dublin Mountains. Atlantic Ocean is off in that direction. Okay, we have to fly over these peaks until we get to another fjord. And I don't know if you can see this right here with the little, right where it says ID. It says IDELA right here. Going to this fjord here. Flying over the land right now. Now, as we approach our next waypoint, waypoint 5, which is a fjord just on the other side of those mountains, take a look to the right. The scenery. Spectacular. In fact, let's get it closer. Let's move over a little bit and take a swing. Beautiful. All right, we're reaching that fjord that we're heading into. Now we've got to turn to a heading of 73 degrees. Head over these mountains. We're going to continue on till we get to the city of Harstad. It's on the other side of these mountains, right on the water. Just skimming the top of this mountain. once we get to that far slope, that's our hill, this way, that far we're at the city of Hartstein. Interesting road leading over to that little island there. That's the city of Hartstein right there. Now we have to turn to a heading of, let me look, 49 degrees. That's 50 degrees, 50, 49 degrees. Continue this way for 25 nautical miles until then we'll pass over the island of Iberia. Getting closer to our next waypoint, that island. Let's take a look around. Uh-oh, the engine's cutting out. I think we're running out of gas. I gotta switch quick. Oh, I've been flying with the tank on the wrong tank. There we go. Right tank has got more fuel. Left tank just ran out. Oh, shoot. I forgot to switch it to the right tank, which has more fuel in it. You look right here, the fuel quantity right there. The left tank is empty. Right tank has 15 gallons. I think we have enough to make it to the airport. Let's keep our fingers crossed. We're about halfway there. Let's see how many miles we have left to go. We have 25, 60, 70, about 80 miles to go. 80 nautical miles. Correction, once we get to the middle of this island, we only have about 50 miles to go. Okay, this is the island, this waypoint we've been looking for. Waypoint 7, and it's called Diarrhea Mountain, something like that. I mean Diarrhea Island, not that. Island. Approaching our next waypoint, waypoint 8. This is that big fjord. Which should be just on the other side of these mountains. I think I might have to climb. Go left, one or the other. Yeah, I think I'm going to go left a little bit. Avoid that peak. Yeah, that should do it. I like to stay low so you can look at the scene. As you can see, we're flying at, this is it right here, 3,000 feet. Speed is 173 knots, heading at 30 degrees. Look around here. Never saw so much water. mountains and water. Must be difficult to try and drive a car around here. Okay, this is the fjord they were talking about. It's supposed to be 37 miles long. Malengen, M-A-L-A-N-G-E-N, Malengen Fjord. And now I have to change course to a heading of 39 degrees. Okay, the airport we're heading to is about 20 nautical miles away. I get over the top of these mountains here, and then I have to descend and then turn left. So get over these. Get over these mountains here and then turn left, and there's the airport right there. We're heading to it right here. Where it says ENTC, that's the airport. Here's the plane here. As soon as we get over the water, as soon as we get over these mountains here, descend. Actually, I can just take over right now and sort of descend, follow this valley over the mountains. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take over. We'll go take over and start flying by hand. Get autopilot on. Go down through this valley. Better cut back on the throttle a little bit. Our speed is coming down. If you look here, at 142 knots now. Continues to come down. Put in a notch of flaps. Actually, too early for flaps. Flaps back up. Increase the speed a little. Get too low. Get too slow. Don't want to stall. Hard to look around. It's hard to look around and fly at the same time. Keep the plane level. Now we're down to 2,000 feet right now. Once we get over the water, we're going to turn almost due north to go to the airport. Alright, head north. That little strip of land sticking out right there, I think that's where the airport is now. That's where the airport should be. Alright, we're at 1,300 feet. Take it down to about 1,000. There's 1,000 feet right there. 55 knots. The runway heading is 18 and 36, which means we'll make a straight in approach and land. Hopefully they have fuel there. If not, I'm going to have somebody fly in some fuel because we're getting low, running on fumes. We got 10 gallons left. We have 10 gallons. 500 feet. Gonna put in a notch of flaps. Pull the nose up a little bit, slow down some more. Cut the throttle, slow down. Put in full flaps. And landing gears down. Runway should be dead ahead. I don't see it. I mean, the airport should be dead ahead. I don't see it yet. Oh, I think it's all I see. It's on the other, getting a little too low. Yeah, it's on the other side of that island. I'm gonna go over this hill. Yeah, it's on the east. It's on the east bank of that island there. So I'm gonna go over that hill. Once I get over that little hill, it should be on the other side of that hill. Yeah, we're getting close. We're just going to get over that hill. Take a look off at the bridge over there, huh? Still don't see the airport. Should be right over here. Once we get over this hill, hopefully we can see it. Oh, there it is. Now I see it. There's the runway. Already got full flaps. The gear is down. Here we are, all lined up. Oh, cut the throttle out from ship. Gotta get a little closer. Got lights over the water here. I don't even see the threshold yet. They got a control tower. That means it's a pretty big airport, so we should have some fuel. That's good. Yeah, here we are. Runway 36. We're down. Safe and sound. We made it. Okay. It says leg completed. Next leg, continue. And that's our final leg right here. There's the instructions how to get there. Okay, the engine stopped. I'm trying to figure out why, because we still have some fuel left. Now I know why. We look down here. When I finished that leg, the flight simulator reset the tank back to the left tank, which is empty. So I got to switch it to the right tank and then start the engine and taxi over and get some fuel. I got to find out where the fuel is. I got to start the engine. we go. Put the flaps back up. Now we got to find out where the fuel is. Now I'm going to find out where the fuel is. I've switched it to the what they call a showcase mode, which allows me to do some things like explore out of the flight simulator, which is what I'm going to do. See if I can see where the fuel is. There it is. There's the fuel right there. Okay. Should be down this way. On the left here somewhere. Just keep looking to the left. There it is. Okay, fill her up. No, I don't need full fuel. I'll just get 50% fuel in each one. No sense carrying extra weight. There we go. It should be fine. Okay, we got all filled up. Now we'll go taxi back and get ready to take off.